That's right. Well, Governor Scott's proposal calls for investing $500 million to address guns, school safety, and mental health. The governor's proposal to increase safety standards at school coming just days after hundreds of high school students marched on the state capitol to demand change.
What we saw in this building on Wednesday is what our democracy is about and why we live in the greatest nation on earth.
Gun laws, school safety, and mental health. Looking deeper at the governor's gun control ideas, you'll have to be 21 or older to purchase a gun in Florida, and bump stocks would be banned. Scott wants to keep guns out of the hands of mentally ill people. He proposes a new type of restraining order officers can seek in court to remove weapons from people making violent threats. And when an unstable person is released after being held under the Baker Act, they'd have to seek court approval to get their weapons back.
I know there are some who are advocating a mass takeaway of Second Amendment rights for all Americans. That is not the answer.
When it comes to school security, he wants at least one police officer at every school. For large schools, one officer for every 1,000 students. The governor is endorsing active shooter drills in the first week of every semester, and he'd like a K-12 tip line, website, and mobile app.
In watching the governor's proposal, what we're excited about is it does reinforce a lot of things that we're doing here in Alachua County, and it actually codifies them in law, and it may also tie funding to those continued efforts as well.
Rodenizer says once the changes are passed, ACSO will start work to implement them in the county.
Talking about the partnerships with the school board between local law enforcement and your school personnel to make sure that those plans are synced and ready to go together. And what's nice to see is that there's now funding tied to that as well.
Governor Scott wants these plans implemented by the start of the next school year. He also announced a plan to invest $50 million in mental health initiatives in the state. Sergeant Rodenizer says keeping guns out of the hands of people struggling with mental illness is a step in the right direction.